It just sucks for me to just know that I'm gonna have this same life for a while longer. I mean, just nothing is just really going my way. I feel like the world just continues to turn against me, as it's been that way since practically my last title, which was in 2018 when I saw Sarah at the airport. That was my last very good year, and also my second best year in a long time. I remember 2011 was my other one when I saw Julia and Catherine in person, right? And I know the following year I saw Erich and both Julia and Catherine, but that 2012 year just wasn't nearly as good as 2011, you know. And by the way, that was the year I started my dump, which I'm still in to this day. So just it's just my life just continues to be a decline. You know, my mental health has already been in the decline even before the incident happened the last couple of weeks. And to see that decline just further, worsen is why I just feel like I don't know, I don't really have a direction now. I mean, technically I do, but I'm at the point where I'm just feeling numb in that, the process is just to where I feel much more impatient now, and just knowing that, while I've been wanting to really just find my own personal space, and now I just realize I can't even do that. I just can't. It's just impossible for me. Like it's not that I'm saying it's literally impossible, but it just seems impossible because, everywhere here in California is just expensive. Anywhere I'm trying to find my own personal space, and even if Julio was still cool with me to this day, and even if I reached out to him because he knew someone that was gonna help me to find somewhere close by, and still that's gonna be expensive to deal with. I already talked with one of my coworkers, Victor, to see if he can help me out, and it's he said that you still gotta deal with all the the rent from the beginning to the end of the year if you plan on having your own room for rent, right? So either way, it's just anywhere I move, it's going to be expensive as hell if I were to be by myself or with a roommate, right? So that's, I mean, like Nathan said, it's just you're just going to feel a lot more stressed and possibly depressed, just having to go through that process. And it's just a pain. It's just even more of a pain in the ass than especially with the pay rate that I have, 1850, which is like Paula said, barely. I mean, that would have been good if it was in my 8th or even my 10th year, but had my raise been $1, and I like $1 every year, then shoot, I would have been paid 25 by now. But there was already a year or so that I didn't have a raise, and that was during the pandemic and with the restrictions that were still taking place, and for whatever reason I didn't get a raise. So that just adds on to the misery that I've been dealing with, and why it just seems like the world just decides to turn against me, like since 2018. My 2019 was fine. It just didn't have the same effect as 2018 in terms of smoothness, but it was still fair. It was still fairly acceptable. It was still good. I mean, I shot a lot of threes, right? Still did a lot of adventures and all that, so it was still pretty decent. It was still pretty good, right? So my thing is now it's just been a difficult road, and I hate to say it, I just feel stuck. And the only way I can really get through this whole personal space thing is obviously a new job. But even then, that's still going to be a bitch because, it's as I've been doing this whole job hunting for the last 3 years, nothing is just really working in my favor. Now a lot of companies are asking more from a graphic designer like myself, and that's already a burden on my end to learn so much more that I need to add to my resume. Yes, I can fault myself for that because I could have gone out of that dump a lot sooner, so that I could already be in another company where I can learn more in terms of graphic design, and especially on the creative aspect of things, right? So look, it's just right now I'm just having to take the harder route, and if I don't do it, then my life is only going to get worse. And I hate to say it, like, my mental health decline is just getting worse and worse. And I just feel bad that all these other guys like Russ, a boss, and Nathan, and fortunately me and Nathan are good. He was just going through a lot. Okay, so but most of the other guys are just getting tired. I get it, but what can I do at this point? I'm stuck with what I have, and I'm stuck. Period. And I gotta do it the hard way, which is to keep applying. Hell, Ernie has already been applying, and he hasn't gotten anything. I haven't gotten anything, except for that one interview that looks like it may lead to the same role that I wasn't really asking for. So who knows? I mean, like, I'm just at that point where it like the whole job market, and especially with what's happening in the political world, is just getting crazier and crazier each day, to the point where we just don't know what's going to happen next, and anything just bizarre can just happen. And that itself is also contributing to the continuing struggle with the economy. So not, like I said, nothing good's just been happening with me. And I'm standing here to this day just feeling totally broken every time I'm home, since this entire incident just happened. And I'm at the point where, yeah, it's the last day of the month, but more than half the time I just don't even know who I am anymore. A lot of times I just have a hard time feeling at home, and I feel more disconnected than ever before, than the previous incidents I had. This just clearly has to feel worse. So I'm not going to go too long on this. Look, anybody here telling me, about, hey, well, just ignore just ignore those people who don't give a damn about you, or who are scolding you, or just making you feel uncomfortable, just ignore them. At that point, it just doesn't help. So it is what it is. I don't want to hear anybody telling me that, because my mental health is on a serious decline. It's going further down compared to last year and the year before. So I got to do something, but at this point I almost feel like I don't know what to do. And right now I'm stuck with the life that I have, and it just feels impossible for me to just really find my own personal space at this point. I just can't. I want to, but I can't, because it's so damn expensive here in California. And with the job market just being an ongoing struggle as it's been, it's why I just feel stuck. But I want to keep standing on business with this whole job hunting, even if I just hate to see more rejections than I do calls that are not telemarketer calls, mind you. Just from companies I applied to. All right, I'm gonna leave it at that. Peace out, y'all. Thank you for watching, everyone. Like, share, and subscribe.